then we get caught up in the history. Florida A&M was, they used to have them horses on the wide out, them great wide outs, and they used to throw that ball around when give me some names, Coach. What's my name? Quinn.
Hey, man,
Quinn.
You know they go coach the Rack boys. Come on, man. Knowing them boys.
Yeah.
Harold Hawthorne, them boys. I mean, Harold Hawthorne.
So Florida A&M used
to them boys.
Yeah, and Jackson State always is used to running that ball, having a great running back. But then you coming behind Superman Kent, and you coming behind what was the white kid's name? Somebody. He could throw the heck out of it. And then the guy that we took the picture with, Rocky, Coach Ashbury, he could throw the heck out of it. Them dudes 250, 275 every game. They throw it for close to $3,000 a year. You ain't got that no more, Jackson State. You know what I mean? Florida A&M. I didn't get a chance to see the game, Coach. 10-9. I know we're gonna talk about them a little later, but whew. That's why, Rocky, I think it's comparing him to the people before him. Not necessarily, they shouldn't say the guy's garbage because they don't know what plays were called and what plays were called against the defense.
Again, I'm not talking about scheme or anything like that. I'm just simply talking about the result. Right. I saw both games. I saw both quarterbacks. And my point is that Jacoby Morgan didn't have an impressive game to me. And R.J. Johnson, in his first start, he wasn't impressive either. But the entire offense struggled. Wouldn't you agree, Campbell? Like, it wasn't just he was struggling. The entire offense was struggling. They only ran for 89 yards.
Can I just piggyback off of that too, Campbell? You can ask because I know you was there. Was he missing guys? Was he missing wide open?
No, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. But see, and like I said again, because I know we got other. Because I want to do I know everybody want to talk about the FAMU thing, but I want to kind of keep it because we are the because again I want to talk about all those other coaches. I want to do FAMU almost last a little bit.
Okay.
But my point of Coach, I want to say this. I keep going back to your point, right? If you got to be able to have a kid, the kid just got there this summer. Okay, he just got there. There were things like, would you just name some of those Jackson State quarterbacks and some of the quarterbacks you coach? They would have hit it because they would have known that route was open because of the play that's called. The thing about, I think with people, and this is what I'm saying about when you have great play callers, Coach Maynard, Willie said, I'm talking about just offensive play call, not what they did winning. And guys like that, their quarterbacks, when they call a play, they already know what guy should be open because we've already called a play because we see what the defense is doing, right? So the thing about it is when you don't know that, the offense to me totally, and you say you're going your progressions, you start panicking because now you're starting to think, well, where should I go? What should I do? He's open. Trust your practice.
Well, like I said, teams make their biggest jump from game 1 to game 2. I wanted to ask a question. The guy said, Coach Cole, today, if it's different, if I don't play, I'm transferring immediately. I don't give a damn. Because it ain't about the damn player. EA, it ain't about the player. It's the system. Guys, please do not get caught up in all this transferring and I'm going to leave. Leave. Because I'm a good coach. You know what I mean? Leave. I don't want you anyway. I want kids that want to be there, that want to play. And, and I'm a change agent. I've turned programs around. I turned Lane around in 2 years. I hadn't had a winning season in 25 years. Turned Tech Southern around in 2 years. My second year, we won. When you can put together a good system, guys, what I mean by a system, the way the kids come in, how you pick them up from the airport, recruiting, are they eating? Do you got training table? Is the uniforms when you hand them out? Have you talked to their parents? It's a system, guys. It's a system. Don't get in touch. Yeah, you need some players, and they out there. You just got to go get them. You got to go get them. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't worry about if a kid. If I got a kid that can play, and his ass ain't in the game, then that coach might be gone. You know what I mean? But we gonna play the best 22 gonna get in the game, not the best 22 we like. the best 22 that can play when they get inside that rectangle.
Hey, and Coach, we gonna move on to probably the most exciting game of the weekend, Coach. Probably hands down, the most exciting game was your alma mater, coached by Chris Dishman, and against Prairie View, coached by your protege, Tremaine Jackson. There was a lot of hullabaloo about the leading up to the game. It got, I hate to say nasty, but it definitely got chippy between the two coaches leading up to the game. Chippy. And the game was fought hard. I thought it was a well-played game by both teams, Coach. I thought ultimately the better team won. What did you see, Coach? And I know that's your alma mater against your protege. I know you had mixed feelings about the game. But what did you see, Coach?
I told you guys last week I had an interview with Sports Illustrated about the game, and the one thing I said, it's going to come down to coaching. And I gave the edge to Tremaine Jackson because he's been there. He's been to the national championship game. He's won championships. He took Colorado Mesa to great leaps. Of course, he was on our championship team in Texas Southern. So he's going to make it. I know what he's doing over there. I can sleep right now. I can wake up right now, and I can tell you what he's doing. So that's what I did. If you notice the game, how it went, Prairie View never got out of sync. They never got caught up in the emotions of the game. They just kept coming. They made a great adjustment at halftime. If you really look at the stats, you're looking at about, and I know you have them.
I'll bring them up, Coach.
They had over 200 yards. That's it. Prairie View had 400. At the end of the game, they made the adjustment at halftime. They kept getting beat with the back coming up underneath the defense end, or sometimes the defense end ran down, and they had a good kickoff. But in the second half, Prairie View made the adjustments and stopped them. 1, 2, 3 out, 1, 2, 3 out. What happened in the last series, they called 3 pass interference. That's 45 yards. That's half the football field. So it wasn't like they drove down. And then when the decisions came for the coaches to get involved, coming down to the end, Coach Jackson had 2 timeouts left. All right? Had 2 timeouts left. The team never got unshook. Prairie View is 4th down. It's 4th. Prairie View got the ball on their 35. It's 4th and 17. TSU intercepts the ball at the 1-inch yard, right? Remember that? 1-inch yard. This is right before the 3rd. But on the 4th down, Texas Southern gets called for holding. So instead of taking the penalty, they took the ball at the 1-inch line. No, you take the penalty. You push him back. Now he's 4th down and 30. So guess what? He either going to punt it. I put my kids' heels on the 10, let it go in the end zone. I got the ball at the 20. I know some people don't see it that way, but that's the best way. They get the ball, they switch sides. What happened? Safety by Prairie View, because they got the ball at the 1-inch line. When you get the ball at the 1-inch line, you don't go back and hand it back in the end zone. You do a quarterback to get it, get you some room. They didn't do that. It cost them. At the end of the game, it's 6 seconds left. They got to score. You go man coverage with no free safety in the back. You know what I'm saying? You could have went 2-man. If the quarterback scrambled out, guys, and scrambled for 17 yards and scored, then you need your ass kicked. Because once he broke the line of scrimmage, everybody convert. You don't go and sit there with no safety.
They pressured him, though, Coach. If you watch that, they pressured him, Coach.
Right. It's my best against your best. Boom. Game over. Again, when you look back over it, I think Coach Jackson made a lot of great decisions. He held his timeouts the right way. And even when they were down there, who called a timeout? Texas Southern called a timeout. When they came out and lined up, Texas Southern called a timeout. Guess what Prairie View said? Man, they playing man coverage. We need to put our man route in. So when they came back out, man route was in. They snuck a smaller guy on the inside, knowing that a linebacker was covering. Ball game. I thought both teams played great though. I think Texas Southern, man, is a team that you can't sleep on. I think Prairie View gonna get better, because he had over 60, 70 new players. I look at both teams, teams to watch.
Yeah, Coach, I thought it was a well-played game. I thought we can look at these stats. Some guys wanted us to show these stats.
Please.
I think this is the only game I watched where both quarterbacks, well, the Alabama State game was the case, but the Alabama State game was both quarterbacks played well, but in this for two SWAC teams, this is the only two HBCU teams. This is the only game I saw where both quarterbacks played well. What do you think, Campbell?
Well, I think again, this is one of those ones where you look at KJ Cooper, who played within offense. Hey, their running game was electric, and there's another kid that I thought was number 28 that I thought because I think they got the wrong number here on 43. I think that kid number was 28. But anyway, I'm with Coach, and we're gonna talk about this on the prayer line. The thing, and see, this is what I'm talking about. Hurt. I know Coach Dishman is a smart guy, but there were things in that game, and Coach and I talked about this, that you got to understand time and score. You got fourth down, right? To Coach's point. Now, Coach, I talked to a ref, and I'm going to agree with what you said, but the ref told me that they had to take that because of the change of possession. But either way, to your point, it was fourth down, knock the ball down. Just knock it down. Don't intercept it, knock the ball down. So you still get the ball there. So that's the first thing. And then the thing about it, Coach, I think it was 2 seconds left because remember, Prairie View got pushed back for holding. Well, for that they ran that rub route, that was a pick. Because that was the play before.
I didn't think it was a pick, but
Coach, that man, come on now, Coach. That was horrible.
I wish you could show the touchdown they scored. I would love to see that.
Can you see this? Here it is, Coach. I won't have the sound, but I will.
This is the last play of the game right here.
No, this ain't the last play.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
This is the last play of the game.
Okay, they came up. Okay.
Okay, what are you looking at here, Coach? I'm gonna let it play a little bit and let you look at it. Hold on.
Right.
All right, I'll back it up just a little because I know you wanted to show the pre-snap stuff. Let me get back to it. Hold on. And by the way, shout out to SWAC TV for keeping these games on here. All right, here we go, Coach.
All right, now when you come in, they look like they got one safety back. All right, which would have been helpful. They lined up in a bunch. They lined up in a bunch set. But what they done was snuck a wide receiver inside, knowing that a linebacker would cover it. As the play developed, as they went to the motion, they motioned out of the three.
Bingman goes
into man. Look, watch they roll into man. Now the guy is right there. He's got the linebacker. Nobody in the middle of the field. That's what the quarterback looking at.
So, Coach, let me just let's humor me for this, Coach. What was the purpose of them? Because, Coach, they had to see the pressure look before they called a timeout, right?
Right.
And I said, in my mind, I'm thinking, this is the pressure, and they're motioning the back out to the boundary. What's the purpose of doing that, Coach?
To see if they're in man or zone, number one. Number two, to see where the free guys coming open. But what they did, they didn't do that. They laid back. And you see the inside guy on the tight end that's coming off the ball?
Yes.
That guy's a wide receiver.
Now here it is.
So, okay, this is what I was wondering, Coach. What are these two guys right here doing?
Which one?
The 22. Oh man, I wish I had a pointer. But it's these two guys here. You see what an inside receiver who eventually catches the ball. Let me advance it a little bit.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
Who are they guarding? They're like guarding nobody.
Right. They got mixed up on the bunch set. They went bunch inside.
So 15 is open, but he's not where you can score. He's shallow.
Right. I don't know why they brought the free safety down low. I don't know why they brought the free safety down.
So at this point, the quarterback knows he's going to throw it in the middle of the field regardless.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be up to the receiver to make an adjustment.
Right.
He sees the ball mid-flight, and he realizes it's not a dart, and it's actually a back. Would you call that a back shoulder?
Yeah, I don't think he was throwing it back shoulder. I just think he got it off.
And that's an easy coach. And he hugs it like a cradling a baby, coach.
And y'all see the two safeties over there?
Yeah, and they're guarding nobody, coach. They're not guarding anybody.
Nobody.
Coach, let me ask you this question, because I talked to several coaches about this. Tell me why you don't go 4-man rush, cover 4, 2 guys underneath right there to trail with that guy that's dragging. Why not that? Why do you go? To me, I don't understand, because you got 2 seconds left. And to your point is he can't run. He can't run. Like, he gets 17 yards. So why not basically, as one of my friends that coach the NFL said, we literally would have had 7 men standing on the 2-yard line. And we would have basically had because he would have been comfortable, but the guys that were in the cover would have been deeper.
And if you're going to play that coverage, get some type of jam to get for your D lineman to get to the quarterback.
Coach, I want you to look at this play.
All free release.
Coach, I want you to look at this play and tell me where the penalty occurs. Can you look at this and in your assessment tell me where the penalty occurred?
Smash route.
All right, here it goes.
Well, it'd be tough if he didn't go down right away. But he fights so hard, though, he may go past 6 seconds.
You do have that one timeout left.
Is this
first
it?
and goal to go.
Yeah, this is it.
For Prairie View.
They got to get their bills paid.
Who are you? I'm you with more sizzle. When you try Jack Link's Doritos
Damn,
barbecue
that
flavored
ain't
beef jerky, you only
the
see
boy
you.
from Jackson State. Now,
Tell me
when
he did.
Tell me when
he didn't fake it. He just did like that. You can't do that.
Tell me where. No, hold on, Coach. Tell me where. Coach, he grabbed him. Running back, Rocky.
For some reason, they put a commercial. They put a commercial right in the middle of this play for what? I don't know.
Running back, Coach.
They literally put a commercial in the middle of it, so you don't get to run up. Hold on, let's kind of let me try to run it up.
All right, hey, and we ain't got to run it to the throw it, Coach.
Okay,
You know, that's a huge play in that situation.
I was gonna say I don't know that
This was a
they
bad
want him
call.
aligning, if they want him pressing harder or whatever.
Watch.
And they sent
Stop
somebody
it when he
over
go
there
across, Coach.
to cover.
Now, Campbell, which guy you said passed in the
The
field?
guy, you're going to go back. Because
I got it.
Because what he did, he again, it was the rub right, but once again, he stopped.
He can stop. He can stop.
And it's going to be pass interference called. It fires to the end.
I saw Susie did it.
Oh, here it goes.
Here it go right here.
Complete pass. There was some contact, but that
I'm gonna tell you when to
close
stop
to
it,
the
Rob.
receiver, and that may be what the officials were looking at on that.
They're gonna give us a replay, Coach.
Long as his shoulders is square.
To go to Jeremiah Aaron. You see the pass there?
That's pass interference there.
Number 25, Justice Ugo on the coverage. At best.
But if you're a DB now, hey, you don't get him, you just tackle him.
You got one timeout.
All right,
Do you
here
take
it
a
goes.
shot with Bingman? Would you just pop him in there?
When he come
and call
across
that
the
timeout
motion,
if he
they
didn't
take
make it?
off.
He's run
Stop.
so well here in the second half.
Well, it'd be tough if he doesn't go down right away. But he fights so hard, though, he may go past 6 seconds.
You do have that one timeout left, so check it out.
And the bad part about it, stop it. Nobody didn't even go with him. Didn't nobody go with him?
There's nobody to be picked. There's nobody you can pick.
Thank you. Look at both of the receivers.
Who are they picking?
They trying to run
okay,
through.
watch.
They trying to run through the corners. Keep going.
Who they picking? Who's getting picked?
Oh, right there. See, look, it shows it right there. He
No,
didn't sell it.
no, Bishop. No, that was a bad call.
Who are you? I'm you with more sizzle.
That was
When
a
you try
bad
Jack
call.
Link's
Well, on the
timeout.
Well,
To trade.
Stop.
see, right
Look
there.
at him
That's
trying
why
to get
you can't do
He's
that.
grabbing
He didn't even
him.
sell
He's
it.
trying to get by the guy.
Coach, I knew that's why he called. Coach, he was not. That was he was supposed to do that. He didn't sell it. That's why they called it.
That's a bad call. Look at the other one.
He's looking at the quarterback.
Look at the other one.
Keep going. Keep going.
They not blocking them guys. He's
And then look at this guy.
Coach,
And
he's
then he
been
does the
pulled
same thing.
down.
He does the same thing.
Coach, look, he's been pulled down. Coach, both of these guys are not blocking them guys.
The guy that's guarding him is still on the left side on the right side of the screen. That's the guy that's guarding him. He isn't picked.
That's a bad call.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so stop. You can be okay. The pick is when you're not making an attempt to look like you're running around. Neither one of them making it. That literally blocking them right there.
No, they can't run the route because the defensive backs are pulling them.
Well, okay. Well, let me say this. Okay, so let me. Okay, neither here nor there. But this is what I think, and let me say this too, because this made me. Coach, let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Chris Dishman was known as a man-to-man cornerback.
Yeah.
That's his DNA. Do you think that has something to do with it? Because that's what he is, and that's why instead of going zone, he said, "This is what I am. This is what we coach."
I know what Coach gonna say though. What you gonna say, Coach?
Damn, Chris gotta understand they ain't him. You gotta go with your talent. But you're right, Coach. I think that's what it is. And I always tell y'all too that this business is an egotistical business. And if you got people that can play man, you play man. If you don't, you don't.
Well, see, the thing, and this is what I'm saying about one game. People saying overreaction thing. Like, I told everybody this first game for a lot of teams were more important than usually the first games, because you got to look at when I'm gonna look at Chris Dishman's side. I felt they were Texas Southern was totally disrespected. So I thought that's the reason why he came out a little bit on edge. Everybody was talking Prairie View. They got all the new players and all that stuff. And again, he had beat them last year. I told you guys, I felt those guys felt comfortable with this game. So again, you win this game, you beat Prairie View, put them behind the 8 ball, and then you move on. Now you lose this game, and now Prairie View has got all this confidence that they need to move forward, because now their schedule kind of opens up. But if Prairie View loses this game, all them T-shirts and stuff, and everybody talking. Yeah, it's a different era.
And let me just add one more thing as a referee, you got to know the difference between a zone and a man. And man, you have to recognize they were playing man coverage. They were up, bump and run. So it's gonna be it's gonna be some combativeness there. As long as the receivers didn't come down and block. They came down with outside releases because they knew the play. It definitely was not a pick, Coach.
Coach, Coach, it was a pick play, but the point of it is it was a pick play. That's what the play was. There was a clear out for the guy. It was a pick play. We can't say it. Oh, now, Coach, we can't. Now, okay, let's say
I ain't saying, Coach. I ain't saying
it was a pick play, though, right?
Hey, and then didn't nobody go with him. Didn't nobody? They weren't even in the right defense. What should have happened? They should have bumped out.
Banjo, Coach, ain't it? Banjo?
Well, that's between the linebacker and the strong safety. You know what I mean? But when the receiver came, either the corner should have ran over with him, or they should have bumped out.
So, Coach, I got one more thing I want you to look at. This is a different game, but I think it's important that we look at this because there were people up in arms about this play right here. And I thought it was a critical play of the game. Because it's SWAC TV, we don't have the actual time when it occurred, but I want to watch this play. First off, I said, I'll tell you what I think about this play right after.
You can have, and a lot of people have multiple TVs. You can put one on each TV. Whatever it is, you can watch all the games on SWAC TV. And this is
Coach. Now, what I will say is, why is he not running to where no one is?
The quarterback?
Yeah.
Why is he running on the inside?
Yeah. Why wouldn't he get outside the numbers? Outside.
I would hope he running in and get back outside.
But this is what he does, Coach. He slides at the last minute.
Oh, wow. Okay. He got hurt.
Great accomplishment.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the hit. So, Coach, in that situation, people are up in arms about that play, saying it should have been a penalty, whatever. I disagree, Coach. He wasn't. He waited till the last minute to try to slide, and the guy popped it. Now, again, I'm so glad the kid wasn't hurt. I'm so glad the kid wasn't hurt. But that was a good football play. That was a good football play. That was just a good football play.
But didn't he make a connection with the kid's helmet, though? Isn't that why they call it targeting?
So you can make contact with a runner's helmet. You can make contact with a runner's helmet.
With your helmet?
Yes.
No, you can't have helmet to helmet.
You can't do that. No, you can't.
Did they have helmet to helmet?
That's what Graves now will complain about. That's what they said happened. The referee said
it looked like the quarterback slid underneath and he kind of hit him hard and his head hit the ground.
The kid didn't duck his head or anything. He hit him with his face mask on the helmet.
But again, he hit him helmet to helmet. You can't hit the kid helmet to helmet.
So they hit face masks?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what Graves them said they happened.
Man, that's something I'm gonna have to ask some guys.
But he didn't launch himself. He didn't launch himself or anything.
Yeah, even when it's not the intent, it's the action. It's not the intent. So he did not launch, he did not spear. But again, if it's helmet to helmet, they're gonna call that.
I think official AD is right. I think it has to be the crown of the helmet. It can be a face mask. I don't think I think it has to be the crown, but I'm not an official. I just wanted to get coaches. That play was a huge conversation on Saturday and lingered on into Sunday. And I saw some interviews that Terrence Graves actually did on Monday that aired on the local news about how that play should have been called a penalty, so on and so forth. But like I said earlier, I think that play that they just ran should have been ran by Cam McCoy.
Can you run it again?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to see when he came out. So it was on Southern.
All right, there we go right there, Coach.
Like you said, he should have been outside.
Rocky.
Yeah.
So leading with the helmet, a player with the crown on any part of the helmet to attack the head or neck area. Or any part of the helmet.
You can watch all.
So you see it, Coach. He does a fake.
Right. I'm with you.
Games on SWAC TV.
Now, it's blocked up, Coach. This guy right here, this wide receiver, he just needs to screen block and go outside. Right.
TV. And this is a.
But wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
Let me make a statement, though. Well, see, Rocky, that what's fun that you're talking about this, and Coach is going to say this. This is what's called vision. That's why some running backs and some quarterbacks have and it's a term. It's a vision. So you're expecting this kid. Wow, that sounds right, but there's a reason why they say running backs have vision. Quarterbacks have vision when they're running the ball.
I bet Cam McCoy would have ran outside.
Okay, you prove my point. Cam McCoy has running vision.
Right.
There's no doubt about that.
Right. Go ahead, Coach.
All right, go ahead.
Great accomplishment from
Oh,
Dr.
yeah,
Charles
yeah,
McClellan
that's-
and his staff and all the people involved, man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for the defensive guy. I don't think he was trying to, but when they hit helmet to helmet, that's spearing. That's spearing.
But the bottom line, thank God the young man wasn't hurt. You know,
Absolutely. Like I said, I just wanted us to look at that. That was just and show off a little swag TV, because you can go back and look at these games. All you film junkies can go back and look at the games. They're on demand. Shout out to Dr. McClellan and what he's done. What's the gentleman we made? Andrew Roberts. Andrew Roberts. They got a great platform for us that enjoy HBCU football. As you can see in this particular broadcast, they weren't able to get the time up to much later in the game, but shout out to everybody.
Yeah. I want to say that that's the commissioner, Commissioner McCullough, man. That's fantastic. I mean, shit, man. Look, it made me good. I was able to get the game over in Mexico. I'm looking around. I hit the app. The app added the app to the TV. Shoot, I'm over in Mexico watching it. So I think it was big, man. Like you just said, shout out to the SWAC office. Shout out to the people who got that done. That's big, and hopefully, we get a lot of following behind that and push that, and make sure that you get a chance to keep up with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Campbell, the last game before we go through the slate of games, couple things. Last SWAC game I want to talk about is the FAMU game. If you want to, I've kind of talked about it already, and then we could talk about the pro MEAC guys and how they fared the last week, and then we can go into next week's slate of games. And we have a special part of the show that everybody, there are many teams, there are several teams that really should be listening to that part of the show. So go ahead, Campbell. What do you want to say about your FAMU Rattlers?
Well, I'm going to go, and this is the thing about it. The defense, big improvement, huge improvement. Defensive backs, I heard they would like that. They like that. Defensive line, because I'll tell you, if I had to compare Howard to Mississippi Valley, right? Mississippi Valley ran up and down the field on us. Howard did not. So if I'm just going to use it as a level set, that's already improved. But here's the thing, and this is what I think was the most disappointing part, and where Coach, listen, man, everybody knows what it is. There ain't no secret. Got to win games to be a FAMU. So we can not play that game. It's a job online. Everybody's job online if you don't win, okay? So we move on from that. He has to win games. But I think what was most concerning was the fact that we did not see the continuity of offensive play call to build a drive. So again, everywhere, are we going to be a running team? How are you going to be a running team? You only have a 2.8 yards to carry. Are you going to be a passing team? How are you going to be a passing team if you're not going to pass the ball? So again, you got to figure out what your identity is. And I think the thing, because we heard a lot about Jet Petty, and this goes back, R.J. Johnson had not played. He hadn't played since high school. Jet Petty actually played in junior college. But I think the reason why, I'm assuming, because nobody knows, Coach Cozy never went into why. He just felt he was the best person. But R.J. Johnson could run the ball. So why don't I see naked boots? Why don't I see fake tosses? Because I'll tell you this, when the game was lost to me, you get down and you run a pitch play and the guy gets down to the 1 and it's fourth down. To me, that's a play where you fake the pitch and then roll him out with a double route concept. And then he has an option to run. And we never saw those things that, again, that I'm going to say that T.C. Taylor does really well, Jacoby Morton. So I'm just saying, hey, Coach Burris, go look at that play calling. That's some of the things. Coach, we copy all the stuff all the time, right, Coach? That might be some thing that you might want to incorporate for RJ if he's going to be the quarterback. So, again, 9 points, losing that game the way you did. The defense did everything they did. Coach, if I told you, I'm the defense coordinator, and I said, Coach, you're the offensive guy. I said, Coach, I guarantee my defense is only going to give up 10 points. What you going to tell me?
Oh, man, we're going to win.
We're going to win. And mind you, that last 3 points came at the end of the game, so I really only gave up 7. So what more can you do on the defensive side? So what I will say compared to last year, where to me it's harder to fix a defense because when guys is again about being nasty, thinking like that. I think the defense, I feel is solid. I think they got a better chance of fixing the offense because I did see talent as far as those wideouts. Those wideouts can go. But again, play calling, and is RJ enough to understand to get the team in position? Because I think with him, I don't know if he can be a game manager. I think or if he's going to be one, he's going to have to be a very high level. Because see, the thing about Rashawn McKay and Willie, who was a game manager, Willie called excellent plays for him. Excellent plays. And our defense was sound. So that's the thing about it.
All right. You got anything you want to add, Coach?
Nah, it would be unfair because I didn't actually get to see him play. 10-9 score. Sounds like they still struggling. It's struggling offensively, and seems like they made some corrections on the defensive side of the ball. So, they got to get that going, But I'm going to go back and look at the game because I can pull it up on SWAC TV, right?
No, this game was on ESPN.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Look, I'll get them next this week and really sit down and see what the issue is. We know it seems like it's a carryover, Campbell, and unfortunately that's not good for a Florida A&M fan that we only scored 20 points last year, none in the second half, not necessarily none, but not a lot. And now we open up opener and only put up 9 points. So that don't look good for the Raptors.
No, but I want to address one thing, and it looks like I saw somebody. So Coach Cozy had the call, and he talked about RJ is going to be his coach, his quarterback. I'm assuming that's the comment. So maybe he has a cold philosophy. But what I think is going to happen, and I think this FAU game is a perfect game where you can say we're going to play everybody. Because those games, FBS, more likely than not, you won't win that game. But that to me will give you an opportunity where you can get petty in, see what you got with him. And if you want, I don't have a problem with you going with RJ Johnson. What I want to see is what I thought Henry Bird's going to be more imaginative and intuitive play calling, and also understand. And man, listen, and I'm going to say this to my offensive linemen that are all SWAC. Hey man, listen, y'all all SWAC. We can't be averaging 2 yards a carry, 2.8 yards a carry. Because I tell you this, Coach, one of the things that was interesting, but Coach Cozy talked about this on the fourth down, we were at the 1.5 yard line, right? Now, coaching, I 100% kick the field goal. But if you kind of trust those offensive linemen and you know they're nasty, sometimes you say you go win the game. And that's the thing that I don't know if he had confidence in the offensive line to get, but I understand. I think it was the right call. But again, I don't even know if he thought about it. I thought he said, you know what? We haven't run the ball right and things like that. So I'm just going to tell you, the FAU game is going to tell us a lot of what this team is about.
All right, Coach. Everybody has an opinion about these games with these pro coaches, as you call them. Some people will call them celebrity coaches. Some people will call them inexperienced coaches. But first week of the season, we have to call them what they are, which is losing coaches. And I'll sit back and let Coach Cole give his soliloquy of what he thought about the games.
Yeah, watching Delaware State in Delaware and scoring 17 points, I'm impressed with that. I was impressed with the way the team looked. I was impressed with how they dressed. I was impressed with some of the players that they had, some exciting players. You got a new young coach, don't have a lot of experience, got a perennial losing program. I think for the most part, I think they came out, they showed, I have to give him about a B, even though he lost the game. I don't expect him to come in there and turn Delaware State around without no coaching experience. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a long process if they don't get tired. But I think and gave him that I think he's on the right trajectory to turn this program around.
All right, Coach. Now, what did you think of the Norfolk game, Coach? They
were outmanned. I seen an undisciplined team. Dressing was horrible. They looked like some high school team out of the whatever they call themselves out there. I've seen guys not get good fits, run up and attacking the ball and not attacking the ball with a shoulder, turning the play inside. I've seen the offense that was just scrambling. Once they shut down their run game, I seen the quarterback, 1-0, 1, 2, 3. Here's this, he's coming here. I think they were all over the floor. I think that if Townsend was a more explosive offensive team, because they just killed the clock. They just kept running inside. I don't see Norfolk. I don't see the improvement. I think they even got worse to me. So that's kind of how I felt about it.
Coach, you and I watched them in person last year at the Swag MEAC Challenge. We were actually impressed with their talent, especially in the interior line. Wasn't surprising against FAMU. They were able to run the ball. I think they ran for 270 yards. This game, Coach, they weren't able to run for much at all. They ran it 31 times for 39 yards, Coach.
Right. And those passing yards, they wasn't precision. It was scramble here, throw one down here, throw one down here. I think they need to go back to the drawing board. I think they need to pull that team together. Like I said, I mean, they look like a bunch of kids that were just, straight out of a Title I school somewhere. Black sock, green sock up, sock down, 7 towels, jersey here, pants. It was,
Coach, in my opinion, I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach, but I watched this game, and I think they lost this game in one area, Coach. One area. I'm not going to even say they lost it because they couldn't run the ball. I think they lost it right here, Coach, and this is third down efficiency. They were 3 for 13.
Yeah.
How can you sustain a drive with that, Coach?
And you only rushed the ball for 39 yards. Let's get that straight. Look at the time of possession.
Yeah. The time of possession was pretty equal. It's just that they couldn't convert on third down, and they went for it on fourth down 3 times, and were only able to convert 1. So, again, is this I would say this, Coach, about Norfolk. They have to be better on third down, and they have to be better in critical situations. They had some penalties. They were 9 for 78. That's not good as far as being penalized. That's, that leads to discipline. I'll say this. I thought they have a lot to work with in Norfolk, but I could tell this was a coach's first coaching experience. This is a guy that didn't coach. Deshaun Jackson was the offensive coordinator last year at a high school. This is a guy that's coming from Fox Television, on the sideline, managing the game, being the coach. And I think it showed against Townsend. But I hope that as he gets more experience, the team will have a better performance.
It just tells me that the small things in a program that need to be overlooked is not being overlooked. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay, Coach. Now I will say I didn't see this game against New Hampshire, and we got to look at it just because our friend of the show, Trey Oliver, came on and before the Southern game and talked with us. But I did want to talk about this because when I look at the box score, Coach, this can't be this box. There's something about this box score that's a little irregular, Coach. And I'll bring it out to you. Walker Harris was not very good statistically. He was 13 for 33 for 172 yards. They were able to run the ball 30 times for 103 yards. This is the thing that surprised me, is that Matt Vezza for New Hampshire passed the ball 17 times at 10 completions for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's awfully efficient, Coach. And then here's the thing that surprised me. New Hampshire ran it 39 times for 118 yards. They weren't very effective in the running game per run. However, it seems like they stuck with it and was able to, possibly milk away the clock. Let's look at the team stats and go down here and say.
Let's look at the turnover.
Okay. The turnover, they only had one turnover, one fumble. One turnover. Matter of fact, New Hampshire had 11 penalties.
Deal where they had about 10 minutes more than North Carolina Central. So then now you got to go up to your third down and you'll see why the game was the way it was. Third down conversions. It's funny. They have the exact same third down conversion rate of Norfolk. Right.
3 of 13, Coach. And that kind of explains their inability to put points on the board.
Stayed on the field a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, Rocky, they want to know what you think about Walker Harris.
Hey, they know what I think about Walker Harris. I'm not going to. So here's the deal, guys. I don't get no joy out of beating up these kids about their play, right? Walker Harris didn't have a great night, 13 to 33, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. They lost the game. I think the results in and of itself dictate what Walker Harris is. In this game, they needed Walker to come through on third down, and he wasn't able to. Again, Walker Harris, in my opinion, is a trailer, not a truck. And when you're playing a tough team, I mean, he can be exposed. I watched him, Coach. You and I watched him. We laid eyes on him, Coach. He didn't look much different than he did against FAMU the first game of the season last year, Coach. He has limitations. And that's okay. If they're able to run the ball and their defense plays hard, they'll be just fine with Walker Harris. But don't expect him to go out and win your football game is what I'm saying.
Next.
All right. Let me see. I think this is the last one, and we'll look at the games next week. South Carolina. And we can look at both of them at the same time, Coach. What do you think about South Carolina edging out Wofford 16 to 15? And then Alabama State, a good Alabama State, South Alabama team, Morgan held in there pretty good, 21 to 38. What do you think about those two results, Coach?
Well, that's South Carolina State football. You know what I mean? They're going to grind. At the end of the game, if they win 1-0, 3-0, that's Chinnisberry football. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, whether they win by a lot or little, that's their style of play.
Coach, can you believe they ran 91 plays, Coach, and scored 16 points?
Whew, that's a lot of plays, Coach.
They had 50 passing plays and 41 running plays. Now the issue is they only ran the ball for 41 times for 111 yards. So they weren't raising no hell in the run game, but that didn't stop them from trying, did it? Yeah. So 91 plays, Coach. And then they only had to defend. They only had to defend 51 plays, Coach. Let's go look at the time of possession, because it's got to be it's 34 minutes to 25 minutes, Coach. So we know the story of that game. They were able to control the football and eat up the clock, and they won going down the stretch. So, all right, look like Coach is buffering.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good, Coach.
Sound like they need to be working on their red zone offense. They
didn't have a lot of yards, Coach. They ran a lot of plays. They didn't have a lot of yards. Well, they passed the ball for 299, Coach. So that was using your favorite 2-quarterback system.
Now, hold on, Rocky. No, well, I want to point out here, Stubblefield was the kid from last year.
Yes.
So that's interesting. I didn't get a chance to see this game. I think this is
me neither.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see this game, but I was interested because I heard that they had missed a field goal. But when I'm looking, this goes back to my point. So I think we all agree far as HBCU coaches, Chennisberry coach period is one of the top tier coaches. So here you have a top tier coach that had a kid that was already in the system, and he still brought in another kid to see what he could do. So I don't know who started. Does anybody know who started in my South Carolina? I'm just curious who started that game. I would like to know who started that game and who finished it.
No, I don't know. And then we just look at the box score of Morgan. The box score of Morgan. Morgan, they played 2 quarterbacks as well. They passed for 59 yards. But Morgan, now I think this bodes well for Morgan. They were able to run the ball 40 times for 181 yards against a FCS school or FBS school. Isn't that pretty good, Coach?
Mid-major. You know, it's mid-major. Yeah, that's
pretty impressive to be able to run the ball for a home. That usually doesn't happen in those kind of matchups, Coach.
Right. It used to be a tough game, offensively and defensively. But
yeah. All right, Coach. We could go ahead and we'll look at week 2.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Hold on. Do not. If you do not, you better show that Tennessee State victory. Don't let that.
Oh,
go.
okay. Let me look it up.
Yep, Coach. Give Coach Ball a first win. Let's get it. Let's talk about that real quick. I saw that game, and even though I'll give A&T, Coach Gibbs, A&T is going to be improved. A&T is going to be improved. Saw the game, but you got to understand something. Coach Barlow getting in there late, bringing in coaches in there late. You got a big game. Not a lot of people, which still is heartbreaking, did not show up for the game. I thought this should have been a game should have 15 to 20,000 people just for it being A&T and them traveling to Nashville, which is a great city. But got to give him credit. 24-21 pulling that game out and getting that victory against A&T. So I got to say, shout out to Coach Barlow, and I think that bodes well for what they're going to do in the OVC. Like I said, again, get that very first victory, and I think they got Alabama A&M coming up next, or after North Dakota State.
Now, this is the interesting game. I looked at these stats. I don't know if you looked at them, Coach, but A&T outgained Tennessee, held them to 2 of 11 on third down. By the box score, you would think that A&T would have won the game until you get down to the turnovers. And A&T had 3, while Tennessee State had 1. And that kind of explains the outcome. And I know
in the time of possession a little bit. It was 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes. They had the ball more than Tennessee State.
Yeah. We Coach, and we could kind of ask you, Coach, as a game when it looks like you're outplayed, but you got the benefit of you win the turnover battle. Is there a lot you take away from these games, or are you just fortunate that you get the victory and get out of there and you try to improve on?
Well, winning the football game is the most important. You know, how you win it ain't important if you don't win it. And sometimes, when you go in there, your offense is not doing what it needs to do, and your offense, because there's always 3 phases of a game. There's offense, defense, and special team. You got to win at least 2 of those to be a winner of any football game. So as you can see, Tennessee State won, the game because defensively they was getting turnovers, and maybe on the special teams they was keeping field position.
Yeah. So, Coach, I just want you to look through these. These are the MEAC games, and then Coach, week 2 looks like it's money week for a lot of teams. So we don't have a lot of compelling matchups, but I like to look at what's going on here. Albany and Delaware State. Is that a winnable game for Delaware State, Coach? No,
not Albany and New York. That's Albany in New York. No, they got a good football program up there. I know a guy who's been there for a long time, over 30 years.
Howard and Temple.
You play in the FCS school. They got more scholarships. Howard Burley snuck by. They got some things they need to work on. I don't think they beat Temple.
Okay, Old Dominion in North Carolina.
Old Dominion been struggling the last couple of years. They in that conference with Tennessee State, North Carolina Central need to bounce back. I'm gonna bet on Trey Oliver.
Campbell, you sent me something that I wanted to post, and unfortunately I didn't say the graphic, but ODU got paid what, the 5th most of all schools playing a money game last week. They got paid $1.1 million. Coach Cole, how does a team work out, a FCS school work out a $1.1 million payday by traveling up to Michigan State?
Well, when they call, you got to compare you compare schedules, and then that's when the negotiation comes in. And if you play in those type of schools and you're gonna take that, you need to be up in them numbers, because usually, it takes a lot. It takes about $100,000 to move 110 guys when you got to fly.
Now he's saying that ODU is a FBS school now.
Oh, are they? I know they were in basketball. I never knew they was in football. But they paying North Carolina Central $1 million?
No.
I was great to say.
No. ODU got paid $1 million to play Michigan State.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I was saying, I hope Gramblin's getting $1 million to play Ohio State.
If they not, well, Tennessee State got $1 million last year from playing Ohio State.
Really?
Or was it Notre Dame? Which one was
Notre Dame.
It was Notre Dame. Yeah, they got $1 million. So I'm hoping Grambling should be getting $1 million. Anything short of $1 million, when you playing one of the blue bread programs in all of college football, you crazy if you ain't getting $1 million. Shit, it should be $1 million too.
All right. And then we got Norfolk and Virginia State. Now,
this is going to tell you something about Norfolk State, playing a Division II program and playing one of the best. Now, I got to say that. One of the best HBCU division programs. Coach Frazier up there. Look, this is going to be a good challenge for Norfolk State.
Okay.
Let me say this. This is one of those, if you're in that area, you know what this game's about. It's a big rivalry game in that area. Virginia State was 7-4 last year in that CIAA. They barely lost to Norfolk last year, 28-23, if I remember correctly. So you're talking about guys with a chip on their shoulder. I think the predicted was number 2 to CIAA this year. So I think, Norfolk better watch it.
Hey, Coach, and I hear Coach, with as successfully as Coach Parker is, I think Coach Parker's the guy over there, or is that Henry Frazier? Which one is that? That's Parker, right?
No, it's Frazier at Virginia State, right? And Virginia Union is Parker.
Okay. Virginia State has Frazier, who's a great coach, but I'm just telling you, this is the key, Coach. They have an AD that has won the Black College National Championship at FAMU. And at the end of the day, when she brings that kind of winning pedigree to that school, you expect championships and victory. And this will be a feather in her cap to get a victory against Norfolk. She already has one against Norfolk, I think she got last year. Right? But this is another victory she could get over Norfolk. And like I say, she's one hell of an AD, and I expect them to be very competitive in this game.
I'm going to say this. She wasn't in the gym shooting. Right.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.